Yo guys, welcome to this video. I'm so happy to finally share it with all of you. We've been accumulating these clips over the last couple of weeks / months to try and make something so complete for anybody starting out or even anybody that already has an established info business. I'm going to show you how to optimize your Instagram profile, your YouTube profile, the content system that I use and how you can steal it, my content strategy for short form, how you can fix your offer and optimize it to sell high ticket and make the most out of your prospects, how to create your start here story sequences, how to create nurture story sequences, how to create story sequences that actually drive action and drive people into your DMs, how to sell, how to understand your ads manager, how to set up your profile ads, and finally, how to book qualified appointments in your DMs so that you are building and scaling your info offer the way that it should be. All the information that I share in this video are from my own experiences of scaling my own offer to over $100,000 in sales in the last few months and also helping my clients to do some pretty amazing things too. As always, if you have any questions, one of the links in the description takes you to my Instagram where you can DM me. I'd be more than happy to help. And yeah, I'll see you boys on the other side. Vamos. This was my account when I was broke. The profile picture is very zoomed out. The Eiffel Tower's in the back. Amazing. The Eiffel Tower has never made me a penny. This needs to be closer. This is the first chance that we can build connection. When somebody follows you, what's the first thing that you see? It's their profile picture. And if it looks good, you probably click to see who followed you. This is the first place that we can build a connection. It's where we can stand out in people's stories, in people's story views, when we follow, when we engage, when we like. I help creators make money online through socials. What creators do I help? What problems are they dealing with? How do I help them? Make money through socials. Doing what? Selling pictures of their feet? Like it doesn't say anything, right? It's completely broad. I could be an OnlyFans management agency, or I could be someone that helps people make money through their phone. It's too broad, right? And then DM me system, and I'll show you how. How what? Yeah? This is my account today. You can see a difference straight away, right? Profile picture, clean, beard looks good. When they come onto my account then, what do they see? I help coaches and consultants. So if they're a coach or the consultant, they know that I could potentially help them. I'm speaking to someone now, that's my ICP. Scale their offers past 30K per month with Magnet Marketing. So if they are below 30K per month and they're a coach and a consultant, they know that I can help them with Magnet Marketing, which is my vehicle, which is my actual program, right? That's what we sell. Now, DM me Magnet to start. Now they know what they DM me for. It's very clear who I help, what I help them with, and what to do next, okay? If they're not insanely warm, if they haven't come from a 30-minute YouTube video or whatever, they just come from an ad or one of my reels went viral, they probably won't do that because I haven't earned it yet. I haven't built enough trust. So what do I have here? I have a YouTube video, not a book a call link, okay? It's a YouTube video. This video is exactly how to start Magnet Marketing, and it's 25 minutes of absolute source. That's gonna build some trust. And at the end of that, I have a very, very strong CTA for people to book calls in. And then another thing, what we didn't have before, highlights. When I go onto somebody's account, I don't really want to go and watch every single video. So this is a really quick way they can say who we are and what we do. The start here is just a story sequence which directs people to booking a call with me. The results, they speak for themselves. It's the results that I've got in the last 3.5 years of marketing. The work is me, H, and our team grinding for the last 3.5 years to show that I show up. It says a lot about me as a person. And then I've got the podcast as well, which is Social Proof. He's done 140 podcast episodes. You've got to be pretty consistent to do that. If I'm going to pay somebody, I want to know they do work. And as well, I've had some pretty impressive guests on the podcast. So that's just further authority building and social proof as well. So now this is an optimized account. So we changed the profile picture, a bio which speaks to a specific person and asks them to do something next. We've got the highlights to build social proof and also to convert people, and then the free value in the description. It's really important before we drive any attention that we have an optimized account. Yo guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how to optimize your YouTube account. What better way than just to show you how I've done it for myself and you guys can go and emulate it. So as we said in the Instagram optimization video, we want a clean profile picture. You can see it's the same one. I'd recommend you guys doing the same thing too. We have obviously this banner for me, Get Money Social, helping coaches and consultants scale their offers. Make sure you're using the right dimensions. You can just get really easily on CapCut or on Google, like you could just put in YouTube banner dimensions and put that over the top of like your CapCut or your Photoshop whenever you're editing or creating this. so that it fits nicely on all different platforms, mobile, iPad, etc. My bio, it's exactly what it is that I'm doing, scaling my coaching business to $100,000 a month and helping others to do the same. I'm documenting the come up and dropping source along the way. Vamos, work with me one-to-one to scale your consulting business with a link to my booking system. Really simple. You guys can emulate that and do the same thing for yourselves. But this is the main thing for me. Now, it looks slightly different because, again, I'm on my laptop. But when you're on your phone, this looks a lot less underwhelming as it does here. You can see we still have the start here. If you want to grow your online coaching consulting offer, I'll show you in these videos for free. So this is where when somebody comes on our account, they're going to see a bunch of valuable videos that they can watch of us, where they will be nurtured and we will be pushing them closer and closer and closer towards actually being a booked call, a client, etc. So this is our middle of funnel section effectively, right? Start here, give value, give. Then we've got our client testimonials. So this is bottom of funnel. This is very self-explanatory. Me sat down with guys within the program talking about their experiences of working with us. And then our more top of funnel content is the vlogs. So me and the boys, me doing me things with my people. So this is where we're going to build a little bit of connection, show an insight to what we get up to, building the business, what that consists of, me and my partner, my girlfriend, a real day in the life of an entrepreneur, me being silly with a couple of the boys and playing paddle. This is what makes me, and we want people that come across to our YouTube account to be able to see that, not just a bunch of value. We want to build a connection. We want them to see that we're a real human, that they can relate to and that they see similarities to. And then finally, obviously, you guys probably don't have the same luxury as me, but it's also just an extended social proof with my podcast as well. If you guys have something like this, again, must-watch episodes, and we've got some of the biggest guests that we've had on, the best performing podcasts, the best conversations, and then, of course, our hosts, these two handsome fellas, which you guys know very, very well, or if you don't know very well, you will very soon know very, very well. So yeah, this is how we can optimize and get the best out of our YouTube channels, okay? Hey guys, so how to actually get these sections on your profile. So what you need to do is come to your YouTube studio, come across the customization, click Home tab, and then you would just add a section. When you go to add a section, you would create single playlists. Now, I've got playlists which are vlogs, testimonials, and start here. To create a playlist is really simple. You go across to create new playlist. For the purpose of this video, I'd put a test, and then you give the description. Obviously, my ones are like, if you want to scale your coaching business, I'll show you for free what my clients have to say about working with me and the team, and me doing me things, etc. That's what the description would be. You'd obviously make it public. To add the videos, you'd then press add videos and select the videos you want to add to each individual one. Add section, you choose single playlist, and then you select test, and then you can move the order in which it shows, and then once that's done, you would have to press publish. Okay, now if you want to delete a section, you just press the three dots and remove the section. Really, really simple, guys. So start here, your testimonials, and then your top of funnel vlogs. Really, really simple. Create your playlist, Home tab, create your sections, add them, put them in the order that I have, and make sure you publish. Hope you took value in this video, guys. Go crush it. I look forward to seeing all of your guys' optimized YouTube accounts. I'll see you guys in the next one. Vamos! I want you to steal the content system that I use, which has helped me to scale, and also my clients to scale, to multi-5-figure months and en route to 6-figure months. Now, content is so, so important. And everybody always talks about you need a content system. You need a content system. But I don't really show you what that system actually consists of. And this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how me and my team have created the system that we use to operate with, consistently get 7 to 14 pieces of content out on a weekly basis without feeling burnt out, without feeling overwhelmed, and effectively without putting out shit content. The first thing that happens is every single week on a Friday, I have a content day. I dedicate one whole day just to film content. Now, I'm talking specifically about short form in this video, but I'm also doing the same thing with my long form content as well. And on a Thursday, I have a call with my creative director, where you're more than capable of doing the same thing for yourself. It just needs to be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours that you dedicate towards planning your content. And once you have a system and a structure like this, it becomes so easy to consistently put out pieces of content that actually do what you want to do. Build an intentional audience, right? That's going to cater towards your business. So the first thing that happens is we put every single idea, or my creative director puts every single idea that he has for us for the week into this ideas tab. We jump on a call and we go through every single idea. Do we like it? Do we not? If we don't like it, it gets deleted. And if we like it, it gets moved across here in Notion to approved.
and you can see there's a bunch of approved ideas that aren't yet filmed. I'm filming this on a Friday, so today is my content day. This is the stuff that was filmed last week, so we're very, very ahead. But as you can see, it's an idea. It then gets pushed into approved, okay? We just drag it across from here across to here, okay? Then once it's approved, I know on Friday, this is the list of content that I need to go through and I need to film. Once I film them, I drag them across to film. Now, because I have the luxury of a creative director, in here, I'm also including links to the video so that my editor can then go in and start editing. And once he is starting to edit, it gets pushed across into this editing tab. Once everything is edited, it is then moved across to the edited tab. And then on the ready to post, we have the week's content that is ready to post in order. So today I've got a bottom of funnel video, which is supposed to be posted. Then tomorrow I have this video and this video to post, which brings us to the end of the week, where then the next lot of videos that need to be edited will come back into ready to post. And once they are posted, I put them across into the posted. Okay. Now, one thing that we have just started doing, which is why this tab has got less than it should, is videos that perform really, really well for us. We take from here and push them across into repost. Because if they went viral once, more often than not, they'll go viral again. Now, viral doesn't necessarily mean 500 million views. Viral for a bottom of funnel piece of content could be 10,000 views. A bottom of funnel content with 10,000 views probably generates 100 plus qualified followers, which means that that did what it was supposed to do. Now, I'm not going to repost it tomorrow if I posted it last week, but in a month's time or in 2 months' time, I might have 30, 40 pieces of content here that already worked well that I can repurpose, or at least I could just redo. So when you have a system like this in place, it makes it extremely hard to not post consistent content, to not get up to speed. There's no excuse as a coach, as an online consultant or a coach, you shouldn't be posting every single day. Content is one of the most important levers that we can pull on as infopreneurs. If we aren't posting content, we aren't getting attention. If we aren't getting attention, we have no people to nurture. If we're not nurturing any people, we don't get any fucking sales. So don't underestimate your content. There's so many people that I speak with that jump on and say, oh, content's not really a priority. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I've got to do this. But in my opinion, content is the most important thing if you're trying to scale an online offer. Now, I know this video probably hasn't cracked the content bottleneck that you're facing right now, but I wanted you to see the process and the system that I have within my business so that you could probably roll something out similar. So just to recap, we have our ideas. Once the ideas are approved, we move them into the approved tab. If you don't have the luxury of a creative director or content team, put the ideas that you have into here, right? Once you've gone and you've vetted the idea, you can move them across to approved. Then you know what needs to be filmed on your content day, which I recommend you blocking out, and you film them. Then if you have an editor, you can give your editor access to this Notion board, or if you're manually editing yourself, which I highly recommend not to do, I would then move it across into editing, and so on and so forth. This makes content so easy for me to stay on top of. And me and my team are putting out 14 pieces of short form content every single week consistently. And I don't think it's a coincidence that we are hitting back-to-back record months. So as usual, if you took any value from this, make sure to leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, strap in, because me and the boys are going to the fucking moon. And I'd love for you guys to be a part of it. Hey guys, on reflection, I showed you how to create a bunch of amazing content, but I didn't actually show you what content strategy we use inside. So you've seen the system, how we stay on top of everything, and how we put out a bunch of content across the week. But I didn't exactly tell you what content to put out. So as you can see, there is a top of funnel content piece of content that goes out every single day. Okay, this is to get attention, to build connection, and effectively to just get more people into our content ecosystem. And then the clips and the videos and the posts that go hand in hand with that are moth, boff. So middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. Shout out Gary Vee for this analogy with the jab, jab, right hook, and we follow this as well. So a middle of funnel piece of content and another middle of funnel piece of content followed by a bottom of funnel piece of content. So nurture, nurture, conversion, nurture, nurture, conversion. And then on Sunday, we do a top funnel carousel. So yeah, I hope this video helped, guys. And I already said this and I already rounded it out in the previous part, but if you haven't already, make sure to like and comment on this video, subscribe to the channel, strap in for the journey. Like I say in my bio, I'm documenting my come up to 6-figure months and dropping a bunch of sauce along the way. I'll see you boys at the top funnels.
I want you to steal the exact content strategy that I use to consistently make 5 figures for my own coaching consulting business. And for you guys that don't already know, my name is Christos, but you can call me Chris. In the last 6 months, I've managed to scale my coaching offer to over 6 figures in sales whilst helping other coaches and consultants to do exactly the same thing. And in today's video, I want to go through the exact content strategy that changed not only my business, but also my clients. Most coaches and consultants struggle to actually get attention onto their account. And the way for us to get attention is by top of funnel content. What is top of funnel content? Its only purpose is to get the attention of the people that actually want to buy our thing. This is where we build connection. This is where we show people who we are, what makes us different to the competitors in our space. When I onboard a new client, I ask them why they chose me over the hundreds of coaches in the world that do exactly the same thing as I do. And more often than not, the thing that separates me from those other coaches is what I portray in my top of funnel content, both on the platform of YouTube and IG. My most recent client I onboarded told me the reason they chose my offer, even though it was more expensive, was purely down to the fact that I like to drink beer and play paddle, because they do too. I probably wouldn't have had this client come through if I had not hit them with my lifestyle content, if I had not built that connection, if I had not been relatable to them. See, what most people get wrong is that people don't actually buy coaching, right? They don't buy the program. You can have the best program in the world, but if you're a dick, nobody wants to work with you. So you won't sell that much stuff. People don't buy the coaching, they buy the coaches. And for you guys watching this, if you're struggling to get more clients, or if you're struggling to get clients that you actually want to get, it's probably because you're not showcasing what type of a person you are in your top of funnel content. There's a few main things that I cover in my top of funnel. What I like to do in my spare time: paddle, travel, going out and drinking with the boys, enjoying nice restaurants. What I like to do in my spare time. What's my why? So treating my girlfriend, treating my family, giving back, showcasing that I'm a family man, that I have those types of morals. Because when other people that would probably be interested in buying my things see that, and they have similar morals, or that's why they do what they do, they're going to connect with that and think, you know what, that Chris ain't all bad. Oh, and he knows a thing or two. Maybe let's book in a call. So it's really, really important that we're putting out consistently top of funnel content. Now, during the process of me filming this video, I'm currently posting about 3 to 4 pieces of top of funnel content every single week. But me and my team, as of this week, are changing that and going every single day, because it's so important. These can be POV, day in the lives, storytelling videos, meme videos, videos that are going to be pushed by the algorithm to get us onto more people's pages. I'm going to throw up a couple of examples of the videos that are top of funnel on my account for YouTube and IG now, just so you can see a couple of examples. So now that you guys understand top of funnel, we know how to get attention onto our page and what the reason that we're trying to get the attention onto our page for, we have to now nurture this attention. I said earlier that people buy coaches, not coaching. A big part of buying into a coach is also understanding that they know what they're doing, that they're the person that can help you to get from where you are right now, which is where you don't want to be, to the dream outcome. And if you can showcase through your middle of funnel content that your product is the vehicle that takes your prospects from where they are to where they want to be, you are now starting to nurture your prospects. These are going to be videos where you're talking about your system, where you're taking the prospects that are problem aware and bringing them to solution aware, the solution being your program. This is going to be educational content, one just like this. There's probably a few of you guys that have come across my page, whether on Instagram or on YouTube, and you're thinking, who is this guy? I relate to him. I do similar stuff to him. I like the way he dresses. I like the way he talks. Whatever it was that got you to click on this video, there was something that was triggered, probably in the top of funnel content. Some of you guys have probably watched a couple of these videos of me talking about my thing, talking about my strategies, about my system. And I'm now proving to you that what it is that I do can help you. Some of you guys are probably on this video because you don't have a content strategy. You don't even know what content to create. And here I am telling you exactly what I do to consistently hit 5 figures a month. And not just small 5 figures. This month we are pacing $60,000. And next month the goal is 6 figures. So I promise you guys, this shit works. Like I did for the top of funnel, I'm going to throw up some examples of YouTube videos and also Instagram videos that I have used in the middle of funnel to get my prospects from problem aware to solution aware, nurturing them and showing them that my thing is the thing that can help them to get from where they are to where they want to be.
Could we do, I build sales teams and marketing funnels for coaches and scale past whatever? Yeah. What's your best result for a coach? Include that in there.
You're running ads. You're already posting content, waiting for your leads to come through. Yet you have no book calls, or at least when you do have a book call, it's with somebody that wants to do a payment plan across 18 months at $100. The reason that you're not actually generating qualified leads isn't just because of the ads. You have to think about your profile as your landing page. Is your call out strong enough? Is your VSL strong enough, i.e. your content? Is your social proof strong enough? Do your highlights showcase that you actually get your clients the results that they want? And if you don't, you're just spending money to get people onto your account. So now that we understand top and middle of funnel content, we need to understand bottom of funnel content. Bottom of funnel content is content that caters for the guys that are solution aware. They know that this is what they need to do, but they're just deciding whether we are the right fit. This is content which is really, really important. It's content that proves that other people just like them were in the situation they're in. They had the same goals, dreams, and desires that they have right now, and they bought into my thing, and it worked. So this is social proof. This is testimonials. This is the icing on the cake. Let's give an example. Somebody saw a piece of my top of funnel content 3 weeks ago. Because of that, they now are being hit with all of my other content and they've fallen into my ecosystem. They've seen 3, 4, 5 pieces of content, middle of funnel content, where they now understand that I have the solution to their problem. But they just need that little bit of reassurance. They are skeptical. In a world where so many coaches make so many promises, what is it that I can show them that if they were to put their trust and faith into me, that I can help them to achieve their goals? Well, it's people just like them telling them that I did it for them. This is our bottom of funnel content. It doesn't get as much reach. It doesn't get as many likes. It doesn't get as many comments. But what it does is it builds intention to action. This is going to be the content that makes somebody want to click that link and book in a call. If you can find the balance of your top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel content, create an ecosystem just like I have with my content. And by all means, go and check out all of my social platforms. Check my YouTube, check my Instagram, check your favorite coach and consultant's Instagram and YouTube as well. Check your competitors' social platforms. See if you can analyze and see, is this top of funnel? Is this middle of funnel? Is this bottom of funnel? How frequently are they doing it? I promise you, I'm not the only person in the space that's doing this, because this shit works. This is how you build an audience that actually trusts you, that trusts you as a coach, that trusts you as a service provider, and builds so much fucking trust, builds so much intention to want your thing, that closing high ticket clients just becomes easy. So, like I said to you at the start of this video, I want you to copy my blueprint. Go and action it for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. See if it makes a difference. I know it will. And for you guys that want a little bit more guidance, you can click the first link in the description where you will book a one-to-one call with me, and we can see if you are the right fit to work with me and my team. I hope you took some value from this video, and I'll see you boys at the top. Vamos. We have a low ticket, right? LT. We have a high ticket. Sorry about that. And this is what we're missing. Our middle ticket offer. The low ticket is going to be where we drive organic traffic from YouTube and IG to build trust. This is where we'll start to build intention, and this is where we make money and profit. Hormozi 101 is each individual step within the business needs to solve a problem. So this needs to, first of all, solve, in your case, the initial problem of how do I cut their hair, right? But what it needs to then do is needs to unlock another problem, which our next product helps with. So, for an example, you are helping struggling barbers to get better skills, right? To get more clients, to fill their chairs, to make more money, to open more shops, to move into education. There's a bunch of things that you help people to do in this industry. But first and foremost, they need to be able to cut hair. So, how can we give the market something that they want so dearly at a price that they can afford and they can justify and they can buy on impulse? Our low ticket. Yeah? We solve that initial problem, right? Now they can cut hair. The next problem is, how do I show people that I know how to cut hair? How do I, build an audience? How do I actually fill my chairs? How do I start to build a team of other people that can also cut hair? That's when our middle ticket then is the next problem that we will help our prospects to solve. These two products here are more similar than you think. The actual content within these two is extremely similar and crosses over, which means that we can sell the same thing for different price points to different people at different stages of their awareness and different stages of their just investing journey without adding extra shit onto your plate. So we can both agree that selling a course for $150 is simple to do right on how to cut hair. Cool. This one, in my opinion, should be 2,000, and this one can be 10,000. There's another zero in there somewhere. But the only difference between these two is access. So in our middle ticket, we want to have group coaching, so group. We want to have info, and we want to have limited access. In the high ticket, what we're going to sell is everything that's in the mid ticket, but again, Hormozi 101, more of the same thing you just bought, or more help with the same thing you just bought. So the group coaching is still going to be here. The information is still going to be here. There might be a little bit more information, but it's still going to be here and here. And again, ultimately, what this middle ticket does is highlights the next problem. So we can get on a group call and we can understand this is how to build a social media presence. But as you all know, and as I know, building a social media presence has a lot of the same foundations, but is very individual to each person. We know how to now create a hook, how to shoot cool content, but how do we let our story come through? Or how do we directly have our social media impact what happens in the barbershop and the money that we make? That's the new problem that gets fixed in here. Instead of it being group, it's going to be 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 in your case. The info is going to be similar, but it's going to be more specific and tailored towards them as an individual. And the limited access now becomes unlimited access. Mm-hmm. So everything that you sell here still gets sold here. The difference in these two price points is your time. Yeah. Because you can build, exactly, access. You can build everything in here that still is good enough to be in here. The only difference is the time and attention that you give to the guys. And that's what they pay for. Your low ticket is the most basic problem that the people in your industry and your niche need to fix before they even qualify to be into these programs. Because if they can't cut hair, well, then you can't help them with their social media. If they can't cut hair, you can't help them to become an educator to teach other people how to cut hair or to grow and progress in the barbering industry. If they can't cut hair, they're not going to open 10 shops. So this is a way that we qualify our prospects. It's a way that we get them ready to put their hands in their pocket and invest. And it's also a way that we can show them that we are hot as fuck. Because if they can part ways with $150, come in and get so much value for such a small amount of money, then go and take that value, apply it in real life. I would also probably pair this with like a small community as well.
That is good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you can also track the progress, and you can also then showcase the next shiny object, which is this, by the way, in there. Hey guys, look at this result from this guy. Hey guys, look at this result from this guy. So you're proving that this works because they come in and it helps them to cut better hair. They start applying the stuff that comes into here. And then the next problem, which is unlocked, is here. Every single stage unlocks a new problem, and every single stage solves a new problem. If you have something like this in place, I don't see a reality where someone comes into here and within 12 months, they're not here. So your LTV, your lifetime value, goes from 150 to 2,150 to 12,150. And guess what? This is recurring every 6 months. And there's also a referral fee where you can get someone back over here. So all of a sudden, somebody that would have maybe just been 2,000 if you had one offer can become multiple thousands. And the network of people that they then create and bring into your ecosystem, whether that be straight into here, or straight into here, yeah. You go from a prospect being worth 2K to potentially being worth more than 50. And then if they get that fucking good, right, they come through the whole process, guess what? You need some more group coaching so you can make this better. And you can make this 3 instead of 2, or 5 instead of 3. Well, guess what? The guy that went from here to here to here, and then here again, and then told someone else to come here, is good enough now to be a coach here, which frees up more of your time, which means you can open more slots here, which means you can make more of this.
Perfecto. And what would you say is the best way to show all of this on social media? Because, of course, this is the goal.
Yeah.
This is important, this is less important, but this is equally important to get people to hear. So
Yeah.
how would you show all of this on social media to the world?
Okay, so for the people, like I said earlier, for the people that can't cut hair, they're going to resonate with the different style of content that you're putting out to the people that can cut hair but need to go to the next level. The base level content, which is just hair, it can be like, if you want to find out how you could do this cut as well as many others, here's this, boom. You could do a ManyChat on a YouTube. You could direct people straight to a landing page where they can check out. The main front-facing offer, though, needs to be this one. Because what you can do in your whole sales process is understand how qualified they are for this, financially, mentally, are they there in regards to skill? Is that somebody that you even want to give access to your program? And then this acts as a downsell and this acts as an upsell. So the front-facing offer should be this. You can even lower this price and make it like more of a monthly recurring as well. So you can build that compounding income.
Mm-hmm.
So in short, to answer your question, front-facing offer needs to be the middle ticket. What you sell first, these kids nowadays, eh? What you sell first, what the front-facing offer, when someone's on their phone, they see your middle ticket. That's the offer that we want people to see and we want people to buy, right? The low ticket is what we use to downsell to $150, because if they aren't willing to pair with this, maybe it's just a price or a finance issue. And if we can't solve that with payment plans or financing options or whatever, it is just a money problem. They don't have the money. We can downsell for that reason. But also, another reason why people won't buy is because they don't see enough value for them to part ways with that type of money. So what you can do is be like, okay, bro, I'm sensing that you're not completely sold. It's a big investment. I get it. How about I give you this for 3 days? Check it. See if we actually know the stuff. See if you take that much help from it. And that is surface level stuff with what you're going to get from us. And after 3 days, you schedule in the second call after they put an investment of $150 down. What did you think of everything? They're going to come back and say it was amazing. That's when you turn around and say, okay, how would you like to pay? And then we bring them back up into this. And then the same thing applies with if you're on a call with someone and they're talking about what they need is more guidance from you. They want more access to you. They want this, they want that, they want this, they want this. We know financially they're stable because they've already got 10 barbershops that have all got 5 clients in there that are 5 fully booked every day, whatever. We understand financially it's not going to be a problem for them to part way with the 10,000, right? And we can frame it as because you are such a great prospect, we want to give you the offer of this, or we want to give you access to this, which we're extremely selective with. Does that make sense?
Of course. Wunderbar.
What?
Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another one of these episodes. In today's episode, I'm going to be showing you how to utilize our custom GPT and create your first start here story sequence. This is also going to be something that you can kind of come back on in the future when creating story sequences, or at least more direct story sequences when trying to get your prospects to take action. So first thing we want to do is click here to start. We are obviously trying to create a story sequence here, so we will select number 1. It's going to ask me now for the ICP sheet, which I already have pasted, and then it's going to say what single topic or hook should we use on this story sequence. So what I'm going to say is this story sequence. Right, so guys, I've written out this prompt. So this story sequence is going to be used for my start here. We pinned on my highlights for any leads to see on my page. The goal is to be relatable to their situation and drive action via our CTA. Follow the usual framework. I want you to use client results of Harry, who made 30K in his first 2 days, James, who did his first 100K month, and also myself highlighting my 160K month. Talk on specifically how I was overworked, underpaid, and frustrated with my business, struggling to generate leads and get sales. Now that I've mastered magnet marketing, this is different. My business grows predictably. I work on my business instead of in it, and I've never been happier. Okay, so now that it's got some sort of a prompt, it's going to follow the framework that is already been built on, and we'll see what it spits out. So we can see what it spit out for us. What I want to do is now make it more myself. So I'm going to take everything that it's already got, I'm going to put it into a Google Doc, and I'm going to remake it with the same framework that it's followed, the same storyline that it's followed, but I'm going to make it more human and not AI. Okay? Right, so guys, what I've done is I've pulled in the ChatGPT versions, which are in the bold, and then what I've done to change them so you can see how I've made them more human. Once I've gone through this and you guys understand why I've changed what I've changed, I'm also actually going to create the story sequences and then show you how I paired the images and aesthetically how I built them and what they look like, okay? So, slide 1, where it all changed for me. I was overworked, underpaid, and sick of the grind. Posting daily, DMing leads, hoping that someone would book a call. I had skills, clients, revenue, but it felt like I was dragging the business uphill every month. I didn't have a system, I had stress. And my version of that is, where it all changed for me, will be a title, a little bit more bold. I was overworked, underpaid, posting daily, DMing leads, hoping someone would book a call. I had skills, clients, revenue, but I felt stuck. I didn't have a system, I had stress. So it's very similar to what the prompt, like what the GPT has actually spat out, but I've just gone and made it more me, right? I would never say dragging the business uphill every month. So why should my story sequence have that? Slide 2, the invisible ceiling that traps most coaches. I would actually change that to why you're trapped. So you hit 10 to 20K per month, then nothing moves. Leads become inconsistent, sales slow down, you're doing more manual work than ever, and deep down, you know, content alone won't get you out. So I've changed that to why you're trapped. You hit 10 to 20K per month, then leads become inconsistent, sales slow down, and you're doing more work than ever. Again, it's the same message, but it's just more me. Slide 3, my turning point, mastering magnet marketing. So I would change this to what's changed. When I finally installed a real acquisition system, everything changed. No more chasing, no more hoping. We built magnet funnels that attract, qualify, and convert like clockwork. Now leads coming daily, sales calls are predictable, and I work on the business, not inside it. My version is what changed. When I finally installed a real acquisition system, everything changed. I stopped chasing and started attracting. I built the magnet funnel that attracts, qualifies, and converts high-ticket clients on easy mode. Now, leads come in daily, sales are predictable, and instead of working in the business, I work on it. Slide 4, what it unlocked for me. We hit 160K per month. I work fewer hours, I enjoy the business again. No feast famine, no burnout, just qualified leads, book calls, and consistent revenue every single week. So I've changed that to what it unlocked for me. We hit 160K per month. I work fewer hours and enjoy the business again. Just qualified leads, book calls, and consistent revenue every single month. So it's the same, but different. Yeah? Now, I have actually put 5 and 6 in the same slide because I don't see why they should be different slides. So we'll just split it up to 2 basically different client testimonials. This is the proof slide. So slide 5, Harry made, James made. And what I've done is I've just, again, made this more me. Harry made 30K in 2 days. He plugged in the system, leads came in immediately. Within 48 hours, he closed 30K. Same offer, same skills, just new infrastructure. And then James hit his first 100K month. He was stuck at 20 to 30 per month for over a year. Then we installed the magnet funnel. He scaled fast without posting more or hiring a team. 100K month and the systems to sustain it. The reason this works, we don't try ads or post more. We engineer systems. We fix all 4 levers: attention, nurture, conversion, and delivery. You don't need more hustle. You need the machine that scales you past the plateau. My version, we don't try ads or post more. We fix all 4 levers: attention, nurture, conversion, delivery. You don't need to work harder. You need to work smarter. So it's the same thing again, but it's more me. And that's what I expect you guys to do when creating your story sequence. Want this built for you? We installed the complete magnet funnel system, 3 to 7 qualified book calls in 30 days. No fluff, no patchwork, just predictable growth engineered for coaches ready to scale. I don't think there's a more AI 2 lines than this. Yeah. So again, we can install the complete magnet funnel in less than a week. 3 to 7 qualified book calls per week in 30 days. Tap here to apply. Let's build your system together. Vamos. So it's the same thing again, but it's just more personalized. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit pause on this loom. I'm going to go away and actually craft this story sequence together. And then I will run you guys through exactly what it would look like and how you can go and do the same thing. Right, guys, so you can very clearly see this is slide 1, where it all changed. I'm using the photo of me on a private jet just so I can try and stop the scroll, grab people's attention, and you can see the format in which I've put the text. Everything is really clear. You can see it. We move into the next one, why you're trapped. You hit 10 to 20K per month, then your leads become inconsistent, sales slow down, and you're doing more work than ever. What changed? When I finally installed a real client acquisition system, everything changed. I stopped chasing and started attracting, and so on and so forth. I've used a picture of me and H here on a yacht just because it's a little bit of authority. It looks cool. You can see everything is really, really easy to read. It's clear. It stands out. There's nothing that anybody is struggling to see when scrolling through the story. Then again, what it unlocked for me, authority. I'm talking about hitting 160 grand month here. I'm on a yacht. I'm in Dubai. Sun looks good. It's a cool picture. And again, it also worked for my clients. Harry made 30K in 2 days. James cracked his first 100K month. I'm on a stage with H. We're presenting to an audience, to a crowd. Again, it's authority building. Why this works? We don't try ads or post more. We fix all 4 levers. You don't need to work harder. You need to work smarter. And then finally, want this built for you? We can install the complete magnet funnel system in less than a week. And then just an easy way, instead of driving someone to a CTA, what I've started to do recently is make a sticker. So when it's a lot easier, there's less friction for someone to tap the sticker, and then what we can do is we can go in and start conversations and follow the DM frameworks, which you guys will uncover a little bit further on into this course. Really, really simple, guys. The last thing I want to say is do not hesitate, do not wait, do not procrastinate. This is really, really, really important. This is such an easy and quick way for you guys to get a bunch of attention from clients, prospects that you never even knew you had on your account right now. The amount of people that have come into the program that put out their first story sequence, that pin it to their highlights, and within a couple of days are already having qualified conversations with qualified prospects, and some of them who go on to become clients. So we want you guys to get a quick win. We need you guys to action quickly. We need you guys to action with speed. Speed is king. Do not procrastinate. I hope you took value from this video, and I shall see you in the next one. Vamos.
Yo guys, welcome back to another video. This video is about nurture story sequences, okay? I'm gonna run you through how we use our nurture story sequences to build relationships, stay on the top of our prospects' minds, and effectively start conversations that eventually we wanna turn into book calls and clients, okay? There are 3 main types of nurture story sequences that we use, and I wanna share them with you. So, we have value-based stories, we have life update stories, and we have social proof stories. The first one that I want to run you through is a value-based story sequence, and it's all about us giving useful information to our prospects, to our story viewers, to our followers, and then directing them to something free, a long-form piece of content, a resource, or anything that's going to help them to, get a quick win. It's going to prove to them that we know what we're doing. It's just going to give away some free source, okay? These are really important. Every single YouTube video that I put out is on the back end of a value-based story sequence. Can we create a storyline around whatever it is that our long-form piece of content solves? What problem does it solve? Can we build a storyline around that and guide people through the story to them feeling like they need the piece of content that's waiting on the last slide? That's a value-based story sequence. Then we have our life update story sequences. And this is where we're going to show what's going on in our life, right? Or in our business. We want to build connection and show the people that are watching our stuff that we're real people, that we're not a sales robot that just wants people to buy their program and that's it. That is something we did previously, and it took us a really long time to get our audience back to where it needed to be. Audience fatigue is a real thing. And if you're constantly trying to sell things to people and there's no connection built, there's no relatability, they will just get bored of you and probably unfollow. Or if they don't unfollow, they'll just stop watching your stuff. So then they're not going to see any of your other stuff anyway. So in short, the goal is to build the connection. Yeah. Show we're real people with real experiences, with challenges and goals that resonate with our prospects. And then finally, our social proof story sequence. It's pretty self-explanatory, guys. These are story sequences that are used to show the results, whether that's our own results for our own business, whether it's for our clients. This is where we can show people that we know what the fuck we're on about, that we aren't beginners, that we get results. We help people just like them to go from where they are to where they want to go. And this is a great way for us to show people that we know what we're doing, okay? Stories are one of the best tools for starting conversations in the DMs because they give people an easy and natural way for them to engage with you, okay? The great way to spot our warm prospects is by looking at who shows up at the top of our story views,
who's liking them, who's interacting with the polls that we put out, with the stickers that we put out. Who is the person or the people that are always there or thereabouts? Whenever we post a story, within 5 minutes, are they there? Anybody that's engaging with our stories is way more likely to respond to a warm outbound DM, or way more likely to be open, to a conversation, whether that be your self-setting or a setter within the account. Everybody that's at the top of your stories is probably going to respond, because if they're at the top of your story views, they're watching your shit, bro. Yeah. Every story sequence needs to have some kind of call to action, but that doesn't just mean like reply buy so you can buy my thing. That's not what I mean by a call to action. It literally just needs to be asking our prospects, asking our story viewers to do something. That could be leave a question, make a vote on this poll, click this sticker, give me a content idea, whatever it may be. We want to ask the people that have gone from story 1 all the way to story 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, to do something. Okay. And also as well, the more engaging our stories actually are, the more it tells the algorithm to push it to more of our followers. And it's really simple. The more people that see our stories, the more conversations that can come off the back of our stories, the more book calls we get, and ultimately the more clients we close and the more money that we make. So now that you have a rough understanding of the 3 different story types, I want to show you some examples, some real-time examples from my account, and I'm also going to build something with you guys on my phone as well. So I'm going to take you across to a screen recording now. Vamos. This is my account. I've come straight across from filming the Pages document. I want to show you a real life example of a story that I posted not too long ago. It's a life update story, but I want to show you how important this is, not only to build the connection, but also as well to open up conversations with potential prospects. So if we open up this is my first slide. Okay, the UK is beautiful sometimes. We can see in just over 45 minutes, we have 450 views and a bunch of likes. People are engaging already with our first slide. The next slide is, but I'm still leaving. I haven't told any of you guys, but I'm spending Q1 in the desert. It starts with the UK is beautiful. Sometimes the video is nice, it's aesthetic, it's a little bit of an out there opinion. And then straight away, but I'm still leaving. I haven't told any of you guys, but I'm spending Q1 in the desert. Again, the image that I've used is really simple. It's just a flick that I took at the gym yesterday. The next story is, as much as it's been a dream for me to live in the UAE since I was 15, I'm pretty scared. I can't lie. I'm leaving everything I've ever known behind, living with my partner for the first time ever, and stepping into such a competitive city. This move will either be the best or worst decision of my life. Again, look how many people are in the likes. Not all of these guys are prospects, but some of them might be, okay? And then finally, we finish it off with a CTA, which you can already see is getting a bunch of responses. Remember, this hasn't even been up an hour, guys, okay? This hasn't even been up an hour yet. But when done correctly, we can start conversations with guys that are potential prospects, okay? And again, really simply, my point is, although it looks like I've got it all figured out, I don't. I'm just like you. I wake up every day to try and be better, to grow my business, to explore, have fun, and I'm not even sure if I'm doing it right. But that's life, okay? If you're going to be in Dubai between January and April, tap this, let's connect. Really simply, I'm saying to people, are you going to be where I am? And if you are, tap this, let's connect. It's basically saying, tap this and I'll message you. And we can see the amount of people within 45 minutes, less than an hour, are interested in having a conversation with me. My DM setter now will go in and sweep up every single one of these guys as potential leads. We can set up in-person meets for when I get to Dubai. We can set up Zoom meetings to network beforehand. And you never know what can come from these types of stories. So that is a real life example of a life update story that I've posted literally 51 minutes ago, and you guys can see in real time the impact that that's had. Yo guys, here is another example of just a way that we can structure our story sequences to build further connection with our prospects. This one is really simple. A cool photo of me getting my hair cut by a couple of our friends and clients. The last few weeks have been so important for me as an individual and an entrepreneur. Why, Chris? Coming off the back of record week, speaking in front of over 100 people this month in 2 different countries, which is my 8th trip this year, Social Proof Authority, something still was missing. So, Chris has it figured out, but something's still not quite right. What is that? Intrigue.
We're telling a story, taking people on a journey now, right? I was missing structure. My business was growing. My team was growing. My client base was growing, but I was a mess. Every day was different and I wasn't getting the best out of myself. What did I change? I did a couple of things. I knuckled down on my diet, my general health, and my well-being. This isn't crazy stuff. This is just me sharing my experiences. But what happens? We get a bunch of people liking and engaging with our posts. Guys, this is an example of a social proof story, how simple it is. This day, I went and bought 2 new phones, one for me, one for H, and I put it out there, New Phones Day. Around the time when the new phones come out, people are intrigued by that. I put it out as the first scroll stopper. Then, don't worry, we already got our bread back today, 10K rev generated for the business. So we made our money back. Social proof, authority that the results work for us. What we're doing is working for us. But that's not all, right? Our clients are cooking too. So we have Charlie, who's a client who closed a 7.5K deal. We're waiting for another guy for a 3K USD. He's told us he's joining, just waiting for payment, booking 4 sales calls today. Let's go. So we can see that not only is it working for me, but it's also working for my clients. Okay. And we're getting prospects that want similar results, liking and engaging. Okay. And the same over here. Guys, this is another example of a social proof story and how we finalize it and finish it off with an engagement, as well as also getting a little bit of an idea for what content we need to create. So really simply, it's the same image. When done correctly, magnet marketing is unstoppable. Prospect followed from a bottom funnel case study yesterday. Then our next slide, call booked within an hour. Okay, so I'm showing that the link's filled out and the call is booked. And then we have, this isn't by chance. Every move on the board is calculated. In this case, my bottom of funnel content did its job. Then, should I create a YouTube video on my team's complete content strategy across all platforms? And we have people engaging and voting, okay? There aren't a bunch of votes, but for me, that's 10 people that need help with content. And then 3 people that definitely need help with content. They are 13 conversations I can go in and start. A couple of days passed, I hit a milestone. I hit 18,000 followers. I'm beyond grateful. It wasn't by chance. Everything was done with intention and strategy. So I'm proving my content strategy worked. Then, a few days ago, I asked if you guys wanted to see a breakdown of my content strategy. You went nuts. So I've broken it all down in less than 10 minutes. Tap this sticker and I'll send it over. And guess what? A bunch of the people that reacted to the polls and some more are here. Really, really, really simple, guys. And then that video did so well, guys, that a couple of days after, instead of talking about my content strategy, I spoke about my content systems and did the same thing. Starting December with a bang. 1.6 intentional impressions, 14 pieces of content a week, 3 back-to-back record months. Coincidence? No. Reply content to this story and I'll send you my full content system breakdown. Now, I don't have actual real-time data to show me the results for some reason, but we can see that there's 4 likes and there's 21 interactions, which means with my rough calculations that there's about 17 replies for this video. And this video went on to perform pretty well on YouTube. Right, so guys, now I'm going to run you through how to simply make these styles and the most efficient way for you to do them the way I do them. I would recommend you previously creating a album in your camera roll and in your photos so that you're not scanning through and everything's in one place. I would then come and in the order that you want the videos to go out or the photos to go out, you would then add them. You'll see what I'm going to do with this orange one in the corner here very shortly. You'd then move across and you'd put your text. I'm just going to do an example of one that I'll save it and probably use it in a couple of days time. So when work is fun, you don't work a day in your life, as an example. And then maybe throw that to the right and put it over here where there's a gap. Okay. Then I'd come across to this and I'd go 6 months ago. Things were very different. I was lost, broke, and had no idea what to do about it. Just an example, guys. And then we'd put it there, okay? Then I'd move across to this one. And now, don't forget, I've already used these images knowing the story that I was going to kind of follow. Me and the guys dropped everything and moved
to Bali. And it fucking worked. Okay. Make it just sit a little bit nicer. There we go. I'm also going to make this white so it stands out a little bit more. There we go. And then what I was going to do with this one is I break down exactly how we changed our lives in 6 months. In here. Then I'm going to come here, open up my Nurture SOP, and then we have this image, which isn't the thumbnail for the video I'm talking about, but it's the most recent thumbnail I have in my camera roll. I'd put like a little drawing here, make it nice and thin and white. I break it down here. Then we can add a sticker. We'll just use this one for the sake of this. And then I'll put tap me and I'll send it across. Something, oh. Something like that, guys. Okay, so really simply, this is driving someone to take action. There's nothing crazy going on. We're telling a story, right? So when work is fun, you don't work a day in your life. 6 months ago, things were very different. I was lost, broke, and I had no idea what to do about it. Me and the guys dropped everything and moved to Bali, and it fucking worked. Want to see how? Tap this and I'll send it across. Really, really, really simple, guys. Any questions around your Nurture story sequences that weren't answered in this video, you know where to find us in your private one-to-one channel, or throw it into the community channel and somebody should be able to help. I hope you guys took value from this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Vamos.
The next part of the Nurture is story sequences. You asked me earlier how many of those guys did we close, right? I'm going to show you how we close them now. So most people use stories just to have a diary of their life. Where we are, what restaurant I'm at, what my girlfriend looks like in that dress, you know, where I'm eating tonight, etc. But when used properly, a story sequence can guide our prospects to taking action, okay? It's just a sequence of story posts that push and incentivize our prospects to actually take action. We follow a 6-step framework. Number 1, attention. We have to get the attention of the people that are watching our thing. It's like a hook on a reel. If somebody doesn't like the first 3 seconds, they scroll off and they don't see the juicy part of the reel. The same thing applies to the story sequence. If everybody swipes off the first slide, well then what happens to the next 5? Nobody sees them. And it tells the Instagram algorithm, this story is not actually worth pushing to more people. So now that we've got their attention, we need to build relatability. Now with my prospects, the relatability that I can build is, I was working 12-hour days, had no clients, wasn't booking in calls, working myself into the ground, I felt like shit, yeah? This builds relatability with them because that's more often than not the pain that they feel right now. Then authority. I no longer feel like that, yeah? So I have what their dream outcome is now. I don't work 12 hours, I work 4. I don't chase clients, they come to me. I have booked calls, I make money, right? These are dream outcomes of them, and these are things that I have. So that positions me as an authority, okay? Builds credibility. Then we need to introduce our mechanism. What's our thing? How did we go from here to here? And how can they do it too? Once we introduce the mechanism, we need to prove that it works. Look at James, who also went from this to this. Look at Thano, who also went from this to this, yeah? Proof that people just like them have taken the steps that we want them to now take and have achieved everything that they want. And then finally, a CTA. Because if we don't tell them what to do, they probably won't do anything, okay? So this could be reply free and I'll send you the free train. Or click this link and book in a call with me, etc. Yeah? Side note, the first story needs to hook people here, right? It has to hook people. And I've found, and most of you guys will probably relate to this, Instagram is a social platform, yeah? Family, friends, people that probably aren't interested in what your business does still follow you. And more often than not, these are some of the first people to see your stories. So if we instantly cut them out by saying coaches and consultants, they're just gonna swipe. What does that tell the Instagram algorithm? Our stories is shit. So why should we push it to more people? So if we can capture their attention as well, then we give ourselves the best possible opportunity for the story sequence to get pushed to more of our followers. A good example of this is taking a photo when you look great, in the gym, abs out, whatever, yeah? Photo with the girlfriend, so grateful for her. People always like that shit. Oh, you guys are so cute together, yeah? This is gonna be where we get the attention of the people that maybe don't qualify for our thing, but tells the algorithm that the story is worth pushing to more of our followers, okay? I'm gonna show you an example. This is my granddad, and this is me. I'm skipping. Everybody loves old people, yeah? They just do. I'm skipping, I'm putting my workout in, and my granddad's jumping around and looking like a bit of an idiot, pretending to skip next to me. Everybody here is family and friends. But that tells Instagram that we should probably show this to more people. Now, once I've got people's attention, because Monday afternoons never felt so good, you're gonna see how I now follow that up with, I used to work my ass off. Now I'm building the relatability. I've got their attention, and now I'm building relatability to where they are. I used to work my ass off into the ground every day, chase the same clients, getting 1 to 2 sales calls per month if I was lucky. Then, it wasn't until I made the switch that everything fell into place. Authority, yeah? I stopped chasing and started attracting. Now my business grows predictably. Now I'm introducing the mechanism. It wasn't by chance. I focus on these 3 main levers: attention, nurture, and conversion. So I've got their attention, I've built relatability, I've built authority, and I've started to introduce my mechanism, my unique selling point, yeah? My USP, my product. Now, this is a little bit of a hybrid because I'm doing the mechanism and proof in one. Attention, 910,000 views in 30 days, leveraging paid and organic traffic to get the attention of my ICP. That's proof what I'm trying to do, or what I'm doing, is working, but it's also that I'm focusing on attention. The same thing over here. Nurture, a mix of storytelling, lifestyle, which H referred to it as, authority-driven and value content that nurtures the new attention that I've got. The red are storytelling, the green is authority, and the blue is value. Clearly stating that I'm actually doing it, right? And what's the result? Well, I'm converting people with a really simple DM framework that books in calls, which we're gonna run you through. That's my calendar. Probably more full, well, definitely more full than my prospects. And then a simple sales framework that collects fucking cash. $5,000, $9,000, and nearly $3,000. So that's proof and the mechanism in one. And then finally, CTA. These 3 levers have changed my business forever, and it can do the same for you. I'm opening the doors for our next wave of clients that are ready to take action in October. You've got 3 months to make of this year what you said you would. Your time is now, reply now, and let's get you cooking. 29th of September, 434. 30th of September, 414, 5K English cash collected. That's the day after. Somebody that booked in from that story sequence and closed the day after. Yesterday, we closed another $6,000 client that was booked in from that story sequence and closed using the same sales framework that I'm going to run you guys through. And this is also a £500 deposit, which is 10% of what is going to get paid on Tuesday when we have our follow-up call. Okay, so this shit actually works, guys.
Yo guys, welcome to this pretty self-explanatory video, how to sell. This is a simple framework that's broken up into 4 different sections that I'm going to run you through today. If you are wanting this framework, you can simply hit one of the links in the description, come across and DM me, and I'll send it across to you so you can make it your own and adjust it and also follow it on your sales calls. So I'm not going to go through every single question specifically, but I'm going to explain to you what different stages of the call actually consists of, why they're important, and then you guys can obviously go and make the framework your own. So it's pretty self-explanatory, guys, the way that this sheet is structured, but I'll run over it just for you guys that are wanting to read it whilst you're also listening to me as well. Feel free to also pause this, make it your own, write it down, take notes, and actually use this framework going into your next sales call. I'm sure it will help. So the bold quotes are our non-negotiable questions that we need to ask in our discovery. This is so that we can get effectively the ammunition that we need and also all the information that we need to actually get the prospects to want to buy our thing and to be able to use all of the information they give us to our advantage when trying to get the sale. The dot points are just follow-up questions that we can use to dig deeper if the prospects aren't giving us the answers from our first initial question. And then the red writing signifies what the objective is of each particular section. So really simply, the introduction is just for us to obviously build up that common ground, build up that small amount of rapport, tell the prospects what they can expect over the next 30, 45 minutes, 60 minutes, however long your sales calls are going to be, and also to get control of the call and to get the frame. We want to introduce ourselves, ask them how their day is, build up some small amount of rapport, but then quickly shift the conversation, get the frame, and then take control of the call. Right? We're not here to make friends, we're here to make sales. The goal for the introduction of the call is for them to have full respect for our authority at the start of the conversation. If at the end we're asking them to part ways with thousands of dollars, they will only do that if they respect us and our authority on the call. So it's really important that from the start of the call, we take control. Okay, so once we've gone into the introduction, we then go into the next stage of our call, which is the discovery. The discovery is where we can understand the prospect's current pain, their current problem, its cause and how it's affecting their income, their time and their emotions, and then amplify it. We want them to really feel the pain that they're going through right now, because more often than not, what fixes their pain, the solution to their pain, is our program. So if they really feel the weight of their pain, they're going to be more incentivized to want to buy our thing. As you can see, just some of the questions: what specifically are you hoping we can help you with? What's not working right now? Can you give me an example of that? Have you tried fixing it? How long has it been going on for? How does this impact your business? How does this impact you personally? How are we currently generating leads? How many leads do you get on average in a month? What's your cash collected per deal? These are all really important questions that we need the answers to, so that we can then use, if in 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes, however long time, we can use their own words against them when we're trying to handle objections. So the goal is for them to agree, feel the weight and the pain of their truth. Then we move into the next section, which is the North Star. This is when we want them to get emotionally connected to a better future. We want them to visualize how life looks after they solve their problem. Okay, so that would look something like this. Let's say we fixed all of these problems that you've just given me in the discovery. Everything that you've just told me, let's say we fixed all of that. What would your business look like in the next 6 to 12 months? So we want them to give us a logistical answer of what their life would look like in the next half a year to a year's time if they fix this one problem that they're trying to fix, the problem that keeps showing up for them, that keeps giving them grief. And once we get that logistical answer, we also want to get the emotional answer. We want them to smile. At this stage of the call, we want them to feel in a good place. We want them to start visualizing what their life looks like when they fix this problem. In my case, this may be a lead problem. So if a coach that I'm speaking with on a sales call is having a lead problem, I want to say to you, so we fix that lead problem. You start generating a bunch of inbound leads. You start closing more sales. You start making more money. How does that affect the business? Well, I can hire more coaches. I can put more time and effort into my content. I can hire a creative director, which means that I can create better content more consistently. Great. And how would it make you feel if you were making that 20K, that 30K that you're saying? Would it allow you to, show up more in your personal life? Would it take some of the pressure off that you told me before? This is where we want them to really start to visualize what life would be like once we have fixed their problem. So, like I mentioned, we want to see them smile and feel the lightness of the possibility, the light at the end of the tunnel. And this is where we can activate the desire for our thing. And then we move into our cost of inaction. This is really, really important. We need them to know that if nothing changes, they are going to stay feeling the same pain that they feel right now. They're going to stay stuck. They must want to make a change and make a change now. So this would go something along the lines of this. Let's say nothing changes in the next 3 to 6 months, just like it has previously. Everything stays the same as it has done for the last half a year. Where do you think you're going to end up? Are you going to be in the same place? Would it be worse? What's at risk if this keeps going? Are you okay with letting this happen? Yeah, so we're asking them the logistical answer of what happens if nothing changes. And then we want the emotional answer again. So how long are you okay with this going on for? Are you genuinely okay with staying exactly how you are? Not making any money? Your girlfriend thinking you're a loser? So we want to put emphasis on the fact that they need to want to make a change and make that change now. And then finally, if we need to add a little bit more of a push and we need to direct them we need to take them into the direction of them actually verbalizing that they want to make a change now, we can ask a question like this. So with all that in mind, do you feel like now's the right time to make some small adjustments to get you from where you are to where you want to go? Yeah? Or how do you feel? or how do you feel is just something that we can ask at the end if they're not giving us a response, if they go a little bit quiet. If we ask them how they feel, more often than not, they're happy to open up and share. Okay? And then once they give us that reason, we want to ask why now? Yeah, why now? What's changed? What shifted that's making you want to take this a little bit more seriously? They're going to start giving you the reasons now why they want your program, why they need your program. And then finally, we transition to our pitch. So now that we've laid the emotional groundwork, we've understood what their pains are, what their problems are, what their goals are. We've all come to the understanding on the call that a change needs to be made, and it needs to be made now. We summarize the conversation we've just had, and then we direct them into our pitch. So this would sound something like this. So based on everything you've told me, you've been dealing with a lack of leads, and it's been going on for the last 12 months. It's costing you thousands. It's costing you your mental health. It's costing you your relationship with your girlfriend. It's costing you your relationship with your business partners. You've had to let team members go. Whatever it was that they told us in our discovery, we're now going to bring that back up. Their big problem, what it's costing them. You've tried doing cold outreach. You've tried doing ads. You've tried creating more content, but nothing's really worked for you long term. Your goal is to make 15 to 20K per month, which would then allow you to retire your parents, which would allow you to travel more, which would allow you and your partner to move into your dream apartment. Have I got everything covered there? So it's really important that they now understand that we've been listening for the last 15, 20, 30, 40 minutes. And then once they say, yeah, sounds right, bro, sounds about right, yeah. Cool. So based on everything that we've gone over, I feel like what me and my team actually are providing is a good fit for you. And it would help you to eliminate this lead problem you've been facing for the last however long and help you to achieve that goal of the 20K months. Are you okay if I share what that would look like? And by the end of this part of the call, if done correctly, your prospects should be on the edge of their seat waiting for you to tell them about how you're going to fix their problem. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to pitch because you guys know your product way better than I do. But this is the part where you go away and you go to work. You showcase your results. You showcase how your thing helps them to come away from their problem and go and collect some fucking cash, baby. Vamos. Yo guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to showcase Ads Manager. Just for some of you guys that haven't had any experience before with ads, understanding what each individual part of Ad Manager actually means, how you can navigate your way around it, what a campaign is, what an ad set is, what an ad creative is, and all of the above. So I understand some of you already have experience with this, and this video probably isn't going to be as valuable to you as some of the others within the program, but this is a big part of what we're trying to do. We don't want to leave any stones unturned. We want to make sure that every single person that comes into the program gets all the support, gets all the guidance, gets all the resources and information that they need to be successful with their online offer. So first things first, as you can see, this is my active Ads Manager account. These are the three main parts of our campaign. As you can see, I am in campaigns. With the rest of all of this other stuff, obviously billing and payments is pretty self-explanatory. You add your account details, you add a card, you set your budget, etc. It's extremely easy to get an understanding for. I don't need to go over this in the video. If you guys are having problems, please just let us know. We can film a simple SOP and send it across. But this is the main part, right, in campaigns. So we can see campaigns. The way you want to think of campaign is the big roof that everything else falls below. So as you can see, I have different campaigns for different times of the year. We can see the magnet funnel for August, September, late September, again September, where we're making adjustments, a DM campaign, another campaign in September. I'm not sure why there's so many in September, but this goes on and on and on. So as you can see here, this is the Q4 takeover for November 25. So that is the campaign that I've created, and everything else that I'm going to show you in the rest of this video falls under this campaign. So you can also see here the 17th to the 24th. So we have 1 week, and this shows all of the results within the campaign. So if we had 5 or 6 different ad sets, each ad set would still fall under this campaign, and this data would be of all of the ad sets combined. Now, what is an ad set? An ad set is this. So we can see a cold ad set. This is where our targeting is done. This is where we set our budgets. This is where we we're directing people to my account, to my Instagram. So actually, let me just open this up for you guys so you can see. If I press edit in here, we're going to see actually inside of the ad set. So I can see that the conversion is set towards, once it loads, an Instagram account, and then the Instagram account, which is linked, obviously, is mine. In here, we're not doing any creatives. The campaign has already been set up as a traffic campaign, which I will go into in another one of these videos. We can see the budget. We can also see the audience and the targeting. We can see the placements. So this is where the work goes. Now, I will go into more detail on how to build out your profile ad set, but that's not for this video. I just wanted you guys to get an understanding for what everything is, so that things make a little bit more sense when you open up this new dashboard. Well, to the guys that haven't used Ads Manager before, haven't run ads before. So really simple. It's not anything crazy, guys. It's just, where do we send the traffic? How much money do we put behind it? You know, what the audiences that we've selected? So what people are we putting it in front of? And then also, where do we place our ads? So are they on stories? Are they on feed? Are they on Explore? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? The ad set is which controls all of this. This is where things are actually being done, okay? And then we have ads. So these are our actual ad creatives, okay? So this is where we will upload. You can see here, I've got a top of funnel, bottom of funnel, middle of funnel breakdown. I've got a Charlie client testimonial, which is a middle of funnel / bottom of funnel, right? I've got a $12,000 in 30 minutes. These are all different creatives that still fall under the same ad set, okay? Now, if I press the X here, you guys are going to have a better understanding for this stuff. So you saw before what it looks like on the campaign, right? We can see that I've ticked Q4. So when I tick Q4 and come across the ad set, it will only show me the ad set within the campaign that I have ticked. So I come across the ad set and we can see there is a cold ad set, okay? Now, across the week, we can see that we've got a cost per result of 10 pence. We've had 4,400 profile visits with 166 follows across the week. We can see how much money has been spent. And then we can also see the 3-second play, so how many people made it to 3 seconds, how many people made it to 75% and 100% from the original 46,000. Now, if we go across to ads more specifically, so we want to see the individual results of each individual ad. Now, some of these have been turned off, but you can see that the average, again, is the cost per profile visit is 10, but we can see this one is 12. We can see this one is 10. We can see this one is 11. This one is 7, okay? This one is 3. It's not a coincidence that this is still on, by the way. Really simple, guys. Campaign is everything within our ads, or our ad campaign. Everything falls under the campaign. It is a traffic campaign because we're driving traffic to the IG account. Then the ad set is where we do the work. How much are we spending? Where are we directing the traffic? What people do we put our ads in front of? So creating our audiences. Yeah. Where exactly are our ads being placed on the platform of Instagram or Facebook? Obviously, it's predominantly, well, I say it's predominantly, it is only Instagram that I'm running ads to, and most of you guys will only be running ads towards Instagram as well. But this is where the work goes, okay? And then our ads are actually just our creatives, okay? There's a bunch of work that's going to go into actually setting up the creatives, which again is another episode where you guys will be taken through specifically what it takes to create a good creative. But yeah, I hope you guys have a better understanding now of how Ads Manager actually works. If there are any questions that haven't been answered, feel free to shoot a message into our one-to-one server on the WhatsApp. And as always, guys, I hope you took value from this video. I shall see you in the next one. Vamos! What's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be running you through exactly how to set up your profile ads on Ads Manager. Really, really simply. There's going to be a few things that are obviously going to be individual to you, i.e. your audiences and obviously the creatives and stuff as well. But this is going to give you enough of an understanding of how to actually go and set up the campaigns, what type of campaigns we're wanting you guys to set up to drive attention towards the Instagram account that we're obviously funneling attention towards. And as always, if there is any questions or queries that aren't answered by this video, feel free to reach out to me or any of the team in our one-to-one WhatsApp server chat. So first thing we want to do when we come to our Ads Manager breakdown, our dashboard, is we want to open up campaigns, which is where you'll see this page. We want to go on, make sure we're selected on campaign, and create a new campaign. We are creating a traffic campaign, continue, and we want to do manual. Make sure to name your campaigns and also date them so that moving forwards, everything is clear. You know what campaign is what, and there's no confusion when trying to read data. Or even like, for instance, you want to backlog 2 months or 3 months or 6 months of ads. You don't want to be scrolling through and having to manually find which ads were which or which campaign was which. So the perfect example, obviously I'm going to use it, I'm going to call it test, but I would just call this test GMS SOP, and then I'm going to put 2025. But I would recommend putting the business name, the campaign's purpose, the month, the date that it's starting, the date that it's being launched. Be specific so that if we need to go back, we can go back and you can find things really easily. Okay? Then we want to put ad set budget, share some of your budget with other ad sets, that's fine. And everything else on the campaign is absolutely fine. Then we'll move into next, where we're going to start creating the ad set. Okay, so the ad set is where the work goes in. There's a couple of different ad sets that we can create. We can have a cold ad set, we can have a retargeting ad set, but what's going to differentiate these is just the audiences that we select a little bit further down on this page. So for this case, let's just do a new traffic. I'm going to put new traffic test. Make sure you name it and date it, of course. We want to drive the attention towards Instagram or Facebook, okay? And we're going to be driving them, of course, to the profile. We don't want to select Facebook. Now we come down and we select our budget. So I'm just going to put £100 a day here as the budget. Obviously for you guys, it will be different based on where you're at. In regards to budget, again, that's going to be something that you guys can communicate with us with where you're at with business. But yeah. Some of you guys, this might be 50 a day. Some of you guys might be 100 a day. Some of you guys, it might be 1,000 a day. It's going to depend on where you guys are actually at. So if you're having any issues understanding what to budget, make sure that you let us know and we can figure that out together, okay? Then we want to come down to audience controls. We're going to edit our audience. So let's say we want to push our ads towards the UK, the United States, let's say the UAE. We can do that, or we could do more specifically, let's say Dubai. Perfect. So now we're only going to hit people, our ads are only going to be targeted to people in these 3 locations. Okay, this will be, again, dependent on you yourself. Where is your ICP? What is the market that you're trying to tap into, etc. Minimum age, obviously 18, but if you guys are selling a B2B offer where the guys that work with you are 30 plus, obviously you can go and you can put that too. Excluding custom audiences, let's just say for the purpose of this, we want to exclude anybody that has engaged with the Instagram account in the last 180 days or last 90 days or last 60 days or last 30 days. We can do that and we can exclude them. If we're trying to reach new people, if we exclude the people that are already engaging on our account, then they're not going to be hit with these ads. So this would be a completely cold. What you can also do is include. So if we wanted to do a retargeting, we would include the people that have engaged or followed, etc. I will go into more details on how to create custom audiences and what they actually consist of and what they mean in another one of these videos. Okay? Let's not worry about that though for this one. What we want to come down here, Advantage Plus, we want to switch to original audience. Now, we have tested with Advantage Plus, without Advantage Plus. What I like to do to start with is manually create the audience, see how they're performing, and then we could just turn the Advantage Plus on at a later date to kind of give it that next wave. What the Advantage Plus is going to do is it's basically Meta's algorithm is going to find more people that it thinks want to see and engage with your ads. At the moment, I am running Advantage Plus, just a little bit of Advantage Plus to help with audiences. So we've set our base marks, which I will show you now, and then the Advantage Plus would just act as an amplifier to that. But I think to start off with, especially with your first campaign, we want to go specifically manual, where we're in complete control of every single penny that is being spent. We can then get data back on our creatives, on whether people are actually resonating with the ads or not. Once we find a creative or ads that are actually starting to resonate on a manual audience, then we can add the Advantage Plus for it to go then once it's already got some data on the people that are engaging and it's working on. So switch to original audience. We want to use an original audience add exclusions. So if we're going to add a custom audience, once you select that, like I mentioned earlier on, you can include or exclude. So if we wanted to run a retargeting campaign, we could include everybody that's engaged in the last 90 days, 60 days, 30 days, etc. Or if we wanted to make a completely cold, we could exclude the 30 days, the 90 days, etc. Okay? But this is the main thing that we're looking for here. So age. We just go in and we make the age what we do. So for me, most of the guys that I work with are between the ages of 20 and 35. So I'm going to put that in here. So I only want my ads to reach people within this age bracket. We are predominantly working with men. So I'm going to put my ads towards men. Now, some of you watching maybe aren't men, and it might be in the Advantage Plus that has hit you on my ads or just my content organically. But we want to put our ads in front of the people that have the highest possibility or the highest chance of actually being converted across to clients. So in my case, I would do men. You guys are more than capable of understanding who your ICP is and who you're targeting. And also as well, if you haven't already, on your call, you and H or you and a member of our team will go over who exactly is the ICP. And this is going to help you a lot when creating your audiences. Then we come down to interests. So what I want you guys to think of is your interest and your interest targeting when creating your audience on your ads is effectively like SEO. Okay. So for me, a lot of the ones that I already use are here and they're all going to make sense. So online advertising. Okay. That's obviously something that goes hand in hand with what it is that I'm offering. Now, another thing that we can do, we can get a little bit cheeky. People that buy my thing like Ferraris. So if somebody's showing interest to a Ferrari, we know that they like the finer things in life. Now, to get the finer things in life, you need to make more money. Does my program help people to make more money? Yes. So if I also then go in and put sales, advertising agency, content education, coaching education, entrepreneurship, lead generation. If somebody is engaging with lead generation content, they are engaging with coaching content, they're engaging with entrepreneurship content, business content, and they like a Ferrari, all of these things compound towards my dream follower or my ICP, which is what this is going to do. Okay, really important, guys. You can see every single one of these are interests, right? We don't want to, so if I put in social media, there's going to be two different types, right? So we've got social media, online media as an interest, but then we also have social media as a job title. We don't want to hit people with job titles. Social media marketing as an interest. Social media optimization as an interest. But then we have social media strategist as a job title. Social media director, coordinator, manager as a job title. We need to make sure that all of the terms that we put into here when creating our audience are interest. That is really, really, really important, guys. If you're having struggles or any problems with finding the words relevant towards you guys and your offer, again, feel free to reach out to us in our private channel and we can figure that out together. But I'm pretty sure most of you guys are more than capable of figuring this out for yourself, okay? We don't need to go and put 20 in there. We don't put 2 in there. The sweet spot is between 4 and like 8 kind of different interests. But again, if you guys are having any issues, feel free to reach out and we can go on a case by case basis and give you our opinions on your targeting. Okay. If I just select this one, online marketing, what you'll be able to see then, if I press save audience, you'll be able to see that we've got locations, age, male, and then obviously the interest. And the big one here, Advantage Plus off. What we could then go in and do for you guys, once you've built your custom audience, once you've built this audience once, you can then go cold audience, for an example, UAE, US, UK. And then I'd even put like December, let's say 25. So that moving forwards, if you wanted to create another campaign just like this, or this ad set really worked well, you can go and you can reuse the same audience, okay? Now, I'm not going to save it because I've already got a bunch saved, but that's what you would do, and it's also an easy way for you to see the breakdown to make sure that you've done everything correctly, okay? Now, if we come further down, placements. This is really, really, really important, guys. Now, when I spend my time on Instagram, there's 2/3 main places that I spend my time. The Stories tab, the Reels tab, and then the feed. That's where I spend most of my time. And at one stage, I was my own ICP. To an extent, I still am my own ICP. So I want to place my ads in the places where other people just like me are going to spend their time. So what we want to do is we want to go in here and edit our placements and change them to manual, okay? We don't want Meta in charge of putting our ads wherever they see best fit, okay? And you're going to see why now. So as soon as I open up manual placements, you can see, first things first, Facebook is ticked, which means that our ads are going to be shown on Facebook. Now, me personally, I can't remember the last time I even opened Facebook and used it as a consumer, right? Some of my videos or posts might be shared across to Facebook as well, just because I have that setting on, but I don't use Facebook, which means more often than not, people like me don't use Facebook. So I'm going to untick it. We only want to drive our ads towards Instagram, because that's where my ICP specifically are. That's where they spend their time, right? We can see Instagram feed, Instagram profile feed, Instagram Explore, and Explore Home is ticked. Again, like we mentioned earlier, where do I spend my time? On the feed, right? So we don't want it showing up on other people's profiles. We don't want it on Explore. Yes, exclude. Okay, we just want it to be showing up on the feed. Now, stories, IG stories, yes. IG Reels, yes. Instagram profile Reels, no. We don't want this shown on other people's profiles, the ads, okay? And then search results, we're going to turn that off as well. So the only 3 places where I want anybody to see my ads are on the Reels, Stories, and Instagram feed, which concludes our ad set. So just to clarify, make sure you name things so we can be nice and organized. We want to drive the attention to Instagram or Facebook, but more specifically Instagram. Then the actual page that we're going to be sending the traffic towards is Instagram. You guys should already have your Instagram set up and your ads manager set up properly, so they should show up. We want to, if the Facebook page is ticked, untick it and just drive the attention to Instagram. Then we need to put in our budget, okay? We don't need to do start dates and end dates and stuff like that because we're just going to turn them on. Then we come down to our audiences. Like I mentioned earlier, we can include certain audiences that are already created, custom audiences, which I'll show you in another video. And we can also exclude the same audiences. We will go in and create our locations. We're going to put the age brackets and the genders, and then of course our search terms, right? Our SEO terms, and just in general our interests based around our offer and what it is that we sell, making sure that Advantage Plus is turned off so we are in full control of where our budget is getting spent. Then down to placements, manual placements, and only placing our ads on the Instagram feed, on Instagram stories, and on Instagram Reels. Now that we know how to set up our ad set, we're going to move across to the ads. Just one thing I want to add. Our campaign score up here is going to be low. The reason it's low is because Meta want us to give them the control of where our ads are being spent. So what they do is they make you scared, right? Showing that your campaign score isn't very good and you need to use Advantage Plus so that they're in control of our budget and our budget can get spent and burnt. And then for Meta as a business, they want us to spend money and keep spending money so that they keep making money. So do not be thrown off by your campaign score, guys, okay? This is exactly how we want things to be set up. And then finally, ads. Now, I'm not going to go into the intricacies and the details of how important the actual ad creatives are in this video, but this is going to make or break our campaign. If we have the best campaign and ad set set up, everything is done perfectly, but our creatives, excuse my French, are shit, our ads will not convert and they will not work. But that is something we will go over in another video. In this video, I just want to show you how to actually get them up, get them uploaded to the platform, and get them launched. So when we come across to ad, we're going to see this setup. So we want to name the ad based on what the actual creative is. So let's just say, for an example, this creative, I talk about people being broke. Okay, so I would just name this, you are broke. Single image or video, because we're posting video content, right? Multi-advertiser ads needs to be turned off. This just makes sure that our ads aren't showing up in like, you know, when you go into your stories and there might be like 3 or 4 ads that pop up and then it's just a bunch of different creators at the same time. We don't want our ads to come up next to our competitors. We want our ads to be our own ads, okay? And that's all that means. Then setting up creative, all we do is go into video ad. What you guys can really simply do now is just upload any of your ads by doing this. If you're on a MacBook, you can drag and drop it. Now, these are all the ads that I've already uploaded. What I recommend doing is uploading your ads in bulk because they do take quite a while on Meta, or at least for me. Maybe my Wi-Fi is just not very good. But like anything, it goes onto Meta. They need to process it and make sure that the ads are actually okay. This process takes a little bit long, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to show you what it would be. So let's say once you've uploaded it, your ad would show up here. You'd select it. You'd go next. Call to action, visit profile. Yes. Primary text. We can just put, obviously, follow for more. Oh, I can't spell. Follow for more info. Or we can go a little bit more into detail if you're a coach or a consultant, or I don't know, for you guys that are maybe in a fitness niche, tired of looking in the mirror and not feeling happy with what you look like, follow for more info on how you can get better, or whatever that can be. The primary text isn't that important, but the way that I like to look at it is also as another way for SEO. It's another way for the algorithm to basically pick up on terms that we're using and text that we're using in the caption, because effectively that's all of this is. This is just a caption to put it in front of more people, right? So if we've got, let's say, for instance, coach, consultant, scale in my ad, it just gives us a better chance of it being put in front of more people that would engage with terms like that, okay? And once that's done, we just go done, and that's it, okay? You're going to see a preview of what your ad would look like here. This is Advantage Plus, again, trying to give us, stay updated, get the latest updates by following us. We don't want to do that, right? We don't want to come across like a robot. We want to come across human. As we know, trust is something that we're all fighting to build with our prospects, and having captions like this, in my opinion, just brings sales friction up and lowers trust. So we want to be as human as possible. And that is pretty much it, guys. There's not really too much else that you need to do. So really simply, again, we're going to come in, name our ads so we know which one is which, so that when we're reading the data, we know which ad is which ad, and we can accurately see which ones are performing better or not. Single image, multi-advertisers off. We upload our videos, and then we're good to go. What you guys would then go on and do, I'm not going to do it because obviously this is a campaign that I don't need to do. I've already got a campaign pretty similarly set up, but you would just then go publish, and then everything would be published and go live, okay? When I come across the campaign, we can see that this is set up. Obviously, there's no data being read because there's no data for it to actually show us, but it would be turned on, and it would be published, and we'd be good to go. Yo guys, in this video, we're going to be talking about DM setting and how specifically to book appointments into your calendar. Now, with you guys that are doing B2B setting, it's extremely different to B2C. With B2C, you can follow more of a script, you can follow more of a framework, and you can be a little bit more direct when speaking to your prospects. And I want to speak more specifically about you guys that are doing B2B. With setting, what I've found is that you have to have a genuine intention, or else it's just going to be picked up by the prospects on the receiving end. Setting is a way for you to build connection with people, which is deeper than content. There's only so much trust that can be built through content, especially short form content. Yes, on your long form content, you can build more trust. On videos such as this one, where you literally get to sit and listen to somebody speak about their thing for multiple hours on end, is quite trust building. But if on top of that, you guys are having actual real conversations with me in the DMs, or if you guys have setters in place and it feels like you're having conversations with the person in the DMs, this is a really, really important way that we can actually build trust, connection, and also rapport with our prospects. Now, for you guys that are just starting out, or for you guys that don't really have that much of a base or a foundation with your coaching business, I would definitely recommend starting and sparking conversations with as many people as humanly possible. Not everybody is going to want to give you the time of day, but if you are genuinely intrigued by what it is that they post, what they talk about, what their story is, build some kind of connection and some similarities between yourself and between them, that is going to give you the best possible opportunity to maybe not today or tomorrow pitch these guys, but in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks or months, then have conversations once you've built the trust and you've built the rapport between yourself and these prospects. A really easy way to start conversations, obviously, is warm inbound. So anybody that is engaging with your content and you can see they've liked or they've commented or they've reposted or they've liked a story and they qualify for your offer, or they're a dream follower of yours, let's say. They're not even the ICP. They're just somebody that looks cool, that is in business, that is doing something that maybe has some kind of similarity or crosses over somewhat with whatever it is that you sell. Let's go in and start conversations with these individuals. Now, we're not going to go in and say, hey, bro, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. How's the business looking for you recently? Because they're either going to think that's a bot, that's a setter, or that's just somebody that doesn't care about who I am, what I do. They just want to sell me something. And that's not how we book appointments. That's how we build sales friction and do the opposite of building trust. Can we respond to a story highlight? Can we respond to a story? Can we send them a piece of their content and ask them a question about it, or give them our perspective on their take? Let's say they post the content about their day in the life and they have XYZ thing for breakfast and then follow it up with the gym. But you go to the gym and then have breakfast. Maybe we can start conversation or spike something that is nothing to do with our offer, that's going to drive a response and actually lower that sales friction and open up the opportunity for us to start a conversation. We've found with the thousands and thousands of DMs that not only we've sent from my account, from my business partner's account, but also our clients' accounts, that going in with a rapport first, building rapport and actually showing a genuine interest in the people you're starting conversation with is the easiest and most efficient way for us to start qualified conversations with the prospects on our accounts. Now, we go through a bunch of different stages in the DMs and I want to run you through them. First of all, we need to build rapport. Once we've built rapport, we can then transition the conversation towards business. Once we transition the conversation in towards business, we can then start to go into discovery and figure out what it is that they're struggling with. Now, this is where our prospects will probably end up opening up to us and telling us about the problems that they're facing. Now, if done correctly, this is where we can then start to pitch the opportunity for our call. They're probably going to ask you some questions back. Hey, what do you do? Funny you ask, bro. Based on what you've just told me, I actually have a solution for that. No pressure, but I'd love to jump on a call and potentially run you through what that would look like. Does that sound fair? Whatever it may be, without putting too much pressure on our prospects, if we built the right amount of rapport, we've done the discovery correctly, we can then transition them into a book call and potentially a client by just not trying to sell. It sounds funny that the thing that's going to book you the most calls is by not trying to sell people, but it's true. The prospects that are watching your stuff are more clever than you think. And if you're trying to attract a certain type of clientele, they're going to understand whether it's a setter or somebody that's just trying to get a sale, and they're not going to engage. You also have to think about your DMs as a way to nurture your prospects further. When you have a conversation with somebody on Instagram, more often than not, you start to see more of their content. So in this stage, in this period where we're building rapport, we're going back and forth with them, we're having conversations about their life. We're not trying to pitch them anything or sell them anything yet. During this interaction or these interactions, however long it may take, they're seeing more of your content, they're being nurtured, they're starting to get more of an understanding for who you are, for what you do, who you cater towards, and all of that good stuff, which gives us a better fighting chance of actually booking them into a call and closing them as a high-ticket client. Now, for you guys that aren't actually setting yourself and have setters, managing your setter is also something that's extremely important. Now, having my fair share of different setters within my account and within my offer, I've learned a thing or two. Communication is one of the most important things when it comes to your setter. If you do not know the problems that your setter is facing in the DMs, how are you supposed to fix them? And also on top of that, your setter is the person that has the most conversations with the most prospects out of anybody else on your team. If you aren't using your setter to get data and feedback from the prospects on your account, then you're leaving a shitload of money on the table. On a weekly basis, I sit down and I speak with my setter about the most common objections that have come up across the last 7 days. more often than not, those objections are what I use then with my creative director in my ideation for the content that I create for the week after. If the objection that I keep getting is that timing isn't right in the DMs, well, I'm going to break some limiting beliefs with a long form piece of content about timing and how the best time is now. If people keep saying in the DMs that they lack a content system or a content strategy, I can then go and create a piece of content so that not only when that objection comes up again, my setter can send that piece of content out, that sales asset out to further nurture the prospects, but also I can handle the objection before it comes up in conversation because my piece of content is going to fix that problem for them. So I hope this video gave you a little bit of a better understanding of how to approach DM setting on your account with your prospects, or even just how to manage your DM setter in a more efficient way if they are obviously running your DMs on your account. Now, DMs are very specific to each individual person, each individual offer, and there's not too much that I can go into without it being a case-by-case scenario. But if you do need help with setting, or you do need help with this part of your business more specifically, and you don't feel like you found the answers that you were looking for in this section of the video, there's a link in the description which takes you to my Instagram where my DMs are open to answer any questions. So as per usual, I hope you took value from this video, and I shall see you in the next one. Vamos! Guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you took a bunch of value from it. If you've got any feedback, or if there's anything particularly that you liked about this video, I'd much appreciate it if you could leave it in the comment section, let me know. And for you guys that have taken a bunch of value from this video and want to explore a little bit deeper what it would be like to actually work with me and my team, there is a link in the description where you can book in a call with either me or a member of the team. As always, I hope you boys took value from this video, and I shall see yous at the top. Vamos.